Hi, this is a quick video guide on how you can relate files from one object to another object. And so it's same file looking up to multiple different things. So at the moment, I just show you we're on this case in my playground. And so we've got no files here. And then the contact is Stella Pavlova. And she also has no files attached there. So I've set this up as a screen flow with no screens at all, and just put the button at the top here. You could do this as a record triggered flow as well. So we'll just add, two files for now. So upload a couple of things here, and then we'll press this relate files to the contact button. It'll screen flow will run. Yeah, so that's all finished. And now if we go to the contact and refresh, we'll see that the two files are here. And so we'll run this again, but we're going to add a new file on here. And then what we want is just a new file to come across, not either of these ones to come again. So we'll add a third file. And so I just do this screenshot. And then we'll run this again now. Flow finished, cool. And then come back to Stella Pavlova. And we've got the three files now. So how we do that is a flow running in the background. So there's a couple bits here which I'll try and explain through, and you might just need a pause when I open up these different elements. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find if there's any existing files on the contact, so the object where you want to send things across to. So on the contact, if we look in here, so we're looking at the object is the content document link. And then within that, we're then filtering on the linked entity ID, where so record ID here is the variable on the case. So on the records contact ID. So we're trying to find any existing content document links where the linked entity ID is the same as the contact ID. And we want to collect all of them, so to be a collection. Then we're just going to come to a decision element and then see if any files were found on the contact or not. And so what this looks like is if the content document link from get files on contact is null, false. So that means we have found something. And in that case, we'll follow the yes path. And so we're going to loop through this collection, the get files on contact. And then within the loop, we're going to add the current item from the loop through contact files. We're going to add the content document ID, not the ID, not the record ID, not the ID, but the content document ID. And we're adding that to a text collection. So I called it, it's a variable. So variable contact file collection. This is a text collection. So just look at that quickly. So this collection variable here. So you want data type of text, allow multiple. And then so we'll go through that loop if there were files found. And then we're going to look at what files are on the case record. So this is where we're clicking the button from. And so on the case, we're looking if the linked entity ID is equal to the record ID case ID. So if it's the same record we're on, and then if the content document ID is not in our record collection. So if it's not in this, then we know we need to add it to the contact. But if it was in this collection, then we don't want to duplicate, which will cause an error. So two things, linked entity ID, record ID, case ID. So equals that, and then content document ID not in this collection. And then again, we want to collect all the records here. And then we're going to come into our second loop. So this time we're looping through the case files. So everything in this collection. And then all we need to do here, first part, is we're just saying the current item, the linked entity ID, we're going to set that as the record contact ID. Then we're going to add it to our update collection. So I made a record collection here. I'll show you what this looks like in a moment. And we're going to add the current item which we're looping through the case files. So this record collection variable is here. So yeah, RC for record collection. So data type record, we need multiple of these. And then the object which we're collecting are content document links. Once you've done all of that, we'll exit the loop and then we'll create new content document links because this is how you see the file on there. And then we're going to create multiple and everything within our record collection. So we can have a look at this in debug, but because it's a screen flow, we're not going to be able to see the path like visually. So we'll have to just read the debug logs. So we'll see this seeking guidance case we were just on. And then as we come through, so finding the files on the contact, and then yes, so found record. So then we're going through the yes path. And so we've got these content document links in our collection now. Looping through, and then, yeah, so here we can assign them. Then we're doing our get records, finding everything on the case. And then so we're getting these IDs. And basically what we're looking for is, there's 0698. Is it in this collection up here? So if you look, this PVZ, BQAL, you can see that this record does exist. And then, so not in, and so that's why we're saying failed to find records here. So end the loop. And then we'll just add one more document so you can see the other debug log when there's something new. So now we've got 4 on the case. I haven't pressed the button here, but if we run this again, so instead of this failed to find records on the get files on case, we should find a record this time. So yeah, so this get records, get files on case. So this time we found that 4th record, and then so it's this new ID. So we're assigning it to the content document, add it to the update collection, and then create the new content document link. And there you go.